Every fund in this room is running the same AI, same model, same output. So if all of you have the same brain, what is your edge on technology? It's not the model, it's the memory. It's your data, but only if structured. I am Francesco De Liva, 20 years in data science, AI, document processing, and information retrieval across bank and financial institution. I was one of the first in Microsoft working with banks while adopting OpenAI in the early days of generative AI. I spent the last 3 years helping 40 between VC and private equity, automating their workflow with AI and, of course, Cruncher. So let's raise your hand. Who is using AI for research on companies? Now, who is using for investment memo? Yeah, I can see the full room is raising his hand. But now, how many trust the investment memo that is generated 100%? So I can see that many hands dropped. So let's do a fictitious example and imagine an investment memo for Acme, assuming we have been working with this deal for weeks. So we have some data in Affinity, some in Google Drive, Notion, Granola for the transcript. So we will ask the question to generate the investment memo. So the first generation looks amazing. We start to read, it seems very good and great traction and so on. So more it looks legit, more there is a risk. Because it's not that AI is bad, but AI doesn't know what you and your team knows. So what happens when you check the detail is that you start to see that the traction information is off because it didn't capture the latest update. Then the CEO was not recognized as a previous CTO in a porco. And third, we didn't really capture the subsegment of the company. So does this sound familiar to you? To better understand this, we need to do one step back. So how did AI answer to our request? It follows a very linear process. So interpret the prompt, search the connected source, retrieve snippet, select the context, and generate an answer. At no point in this process, the model stop and try to ask itself a question like, is Acme represented consistently across source? Does the latest signal override the old one? Is there any information that is missing? Or any other of 500 very common problem in data retrieval and processing? So this is not a failure of the model, it's a structural gap in structuring and processing your data. The model is optimized to generate an answer from the most accessible data available, not the most relevant to your investment thesis. Let's deep dive more. A very common use case is that you connect different data sources, but the truth across these data sources are scattered. So you might have a company teaser that speak about growth, at the same time also similar information in the transcript, but some are contradicting, some are more recent. How to decide? Then there are also some information in the CRM, but there are two entries about the same person. One is associated with this company and one with the previous company where he was a CTO. There are some notes, but we are not able to process because the partner didn't enter the domain of the company. So the bottom line is that there is not a current view about the company, but there are 5 different versions. If we try to list all these problems, the 6 more relevant are the one that we just mentioned, that is the information are fragmented. Many information shared by target company are incomplete. There are missing information, like they don't share about the market or they might not share about the technology. Sometimes source, different information disagree. How do you decide what is most important? The data constantly change on the company. So also understand what is the most relevant or what was the last time they shared something about a specific topic. It might not be in the latest version of the document. When we analyze this company, are we applying a standard? Are we applying the same taxonomy to identify the industry, to define the business model, or this change every time? And finally, for all the information that are missing, it's very important to understand if we want to estimate or if we want to try to make a competitor analysis. If that is done, how do we represent the investment thesis? How do we score some of the information? How do we say that this is a good founder or this is a good traction proxy? This is based on your investment thesis, and this should also be captured. So the problem is not just a bad retrieval. To be able to do this, you need a full ingestion pipeline. As my manager in Accenture was saying, if you don't decide, AI will do it for you. So what happened in this case is that all this decision that you are not taking, AI will try to be helpful and will take the decision for you in multiple different ways, decide which information is more relevant or is criteria to reconcile different information. And this implies that then you are delegating this, and AI many times they might not be consistent. So asking 2 times the same question, they might resolve this information in different way, giving, of course, reducing accuracy and giving you information or answer that are not relevant for you. So the AI is commoditizing. Your data isn't, but only if it is structured, and that's what Cruncher is doing for you. And this is not just a one-man show. The problems that you need to solve are many. That's why we build the knowledge infrastructure for private market. And this start by moving data from unstructured to structured, doing entity resolution, standardizing data, and also connecting the information, understand company and how they are related to other company as competitor or customer, who are the people that work in this company or who are the talent in this market, who are the investor and which investment they are making and stuff like that. So how does your world change when you adopt a reliable knowledge infrastructure? So you can proactively reach out to company ahead of the market, thanks to real-time intelligence. That's what Rebit Capital, a 40 billion fund, is doing with Cruncher. They added thousands of companies in their watch list, and we provide weekly intelligence on how those companies evolves across 470 evolutionary signals. Offline's venture connect all the data source and MCP to track more than 130 portfolio company. Now they can generate in one click a full portfolio report, including valuation, growth sentiment, Apple required by the portfolio company, even tracking their competitor. Kai Venture in Switzerland is doing a 7-step interview process and screening more than 100 companies every month. They upload the transcript, pitch, expert call, notes, and financial to Cruncher across different screening steps. And when they are ready, in just 1 minute, we have the 80% of the investment memo done. Cruncher helped Kai to win already 6 competitive deals to date. Finally, this is a buy and build PE firm using Cruncher to map the full competitive landscape around each of their companies, which both feed their add-on pipeline and gives every portfolio board a current read on the competition. Cruncher builds the structured data and intelligent layer that make this possible. Cruncher connects every internal and external signal around every company you track. So your eye is built on top of our knowledge. Cruncher maintains a living traceable data model of company and market and allow you to leverage it any way you want, from workflow automation to building your own app. Everyone is racing to have the best AI. That race is over. You're not going to outmodel Anthropic. The race that just beginning is the data race. The fund that build a structured proprietary data layer in the next 2 years will have an edge that compounds. That's the moat, not the model. Thank you. The last 6 months have been amazing. So we have been helping investment banker to learn about coding, venture capitalists to become expert in knowledge graph, and private equity in system integration. Thanks God this craziness has gone. After a couple of months, when people realize who is going to manage this, who is going to maintain this. And I hope that investors prefer to deal with founder while engineer should solve this boring problem. Happy to chat more with you. Contact me and I will be glad to organize a knowledge infrastructure workshop for your fund. This is the QR code to book a demo with me. We still have a couple of minutes. So this is a new feature we released this month. Crunch Alpha Engine show your entire investment universe at once, running the same depth of analysis across hundreds of companies simultaneously rather than one at a time. It tracks how each company evolves over time, growth, hiring, shifting narrative. Surface the alternative data underneath each name as an heat map, and consolidate financial into one reconciled, traceable view. The core screen plot growth against fit when your thesis with your thesis so that the upper right quadrant reveal the company that are both moving fast and build for the bet you are actually making. The intersection is where the alpha is. So it also flags which company are preparing to fundraising, demonstrating what a model looks like when you run on your data and is structured around your thesis, not rented by everyone. Thank you again, and looking forward to have a call together. Bye.